Hey there guys, we're taking a look at NARAKA BLADEPOINT running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U. Now the game is currently running at 720p with the lowest in-game graphics settings because 1080p was completely unplayable. Just being in the main menu, I was struggling to even get 20 FPS, so I was not about to jump into a game performing like that. Now the performance that we're getting here at the lowest graphics settings with 720p is actually pretty decent. Now the 1% lows are the biggest drag here, but it is going down to just 30 FPS, which is not ideal, but it is pretty much the bare minimum to actually be an enjoyable experience. So while it's not perfect, it is at least better than what you would expect. I would have liked to have seen 1% lows more in the 40s because that would really make the entire experience really smooth, but unfortunately that's not what we're getting here at the stock TDP. Overall though, the experience of actually playing like this was actually pretty enjoyable, and honestly I really actually did not really end up caring too much about the dips, and the 1% lows being at 30 FPS pretty much made the whole experience bearable. It certainly wasn't amazing, but it was at least enough for me to be able to play the game comfortably and not really think about the performance too much. I was even able to win a couple of games while playing like this, so certainly the level of performance that I was getting out of this was not enough to hold me back from enjoying the game. That being said, raising the TDP might be enough to actually improve the 1% lows and make this a far more playable experience. But let's take a look at what the 25 watt TDP ends up looking like. So with the 25 watt TDP, the level of performance that we were getting out of this was pretty much identical. I really could not tell a difference between this and the 15 watt TDP. The improvements in the 1% lows were pretty much superficial, but overall it is still a very playable experience. And even though it's not that big of an uplift compared to the 15 watt TDP, the 15 watt TDP was already very playable. So really all this did was just give a slight improvement to what was already a very playable experience. So nothing remarkable, but at least a welcome uplift to a game that was already playable. But it's definitely one of those things where if you can't raise the TDP on your system, you aren't missing out on much on this game at least. Now the performance preset also pretty much nets us no noticeable gains whatsoever. We end up in the exact same situation where the 1% lows are not noticeably different and our averages are also just a little under 60, but it's really something that doesn't feel that different. We'll also have the occasional stutter here and there, so it's not like you're seeing any real uplift with these increases in TDP. So it's one of those things where if you have the thermal headroom, obviously go ahead and do it, run it your system at these higher TDPs, because overall you are going to be getting at least some improvement even if it's minuscule. But if you're reaching some high temperatures, it's not really worth doing. I mean, look at the temperatures that we're getting right now and compare that to where we were at with just the 15 watt TDP. Overall, the gaming experience is not going to be remarkably different, and it really just drags down the experience. When you have this system next to you that's just screeching because the fans need to be running at max speed because it's reaching some really high temperatures. Overall, the game is playable enough on here, but it's nothing remarkable, and you do have to go down to 720p, so the game itself is pretty demanding. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe and also check out this second channel, and I will see you guys next time.